Okay, well this is what it looks like out of the box, and so I'll just go ahead and let you look at the box, see, so you know how it came packed. Yeah, it had that foam cover over it, and really the best way to get this out of the box is to gently turn it upside down and pull the box off. And so this came with the power adapter, and those are the mounting screws there for it, I'm assuming. I haven't read the directions yet, guys. And these are some mounting brackets that came in that box there, and some screws. And I'm just going to go ahead, well, let's go ahead and take a look at this as well. This is what this looks like out of the box. A close-up view of it. It's actually pretty heavy. And this is the underside of it. I'm assuming that must be the humidistat there, so I'm sure that's probably what that is. I'll turn this back down real gently. And so I believe this panel will actually move up and it's adjustable. And so I'm going to go ahead and just focus in on the directions itself so you can kind of freeze frame this and read it. Nothing like listening to a barking dog while you're reading the instructions. That's a QR code there. So let's look at this one here. Back side to it. Nope. This pamphlet came with it as well. Alright guys, that's going to be about it for this part. Alright, well, I've got this thing energized now. The only thing that's powering this is the sun. And just know that this humidistat has to be connected in order for this fan to work. It will not work with that not being connected. And it's moving pretty good bit of air, and this fan speed does get faster the more direct sunlight it gets. And so far, even without installing this yet, I have pretty good faith in this product. So just keep watching, guys. Alright, here we are, guys. This is what we're going to do. I've debated back and forth between using these deck screws and these nails. I probably am going to use the roofing nails because I can remove the motor without removing the flange. At least it appears I can do that. I've got a utility knife to cut the shingles. Now that's a metal detector to find a nail that was in the soffit. I'm going to use this jigsaw to cut the hole. It's 25-foot cord. It's going to provide power to the adapter kit. This is the instructions there. Needed some snips to cut the these cable ties that were holding some of this wiring. This will connect only one way with these wires right there, so just know that. And so this will run this fan with no sun, cloudy days, or if you have at nighttime a lot of humidity in the attic, it's designed to run it that way. And so this is what I wound up using for my template, is this lid. I was going to use measures about 14.5 inches wide, and that's what they put in the directions. I was going to use that skillet up there, but it's only 14, so that's come off the table as far as being used. I got a good bit of my materials up there already, or my tools, to start doing this project. The birds are singing. And so what I did is, my rafter's on 22-inch centers, and so I measured 11 inches off after I found the nail of the metal detector. So that's hopefully the center of that rafter. I'm gonna run that string all the way up to the ridge, and then go ahead and drill a hole there in the center there and start making my cut. And we'll just have to see how this goes, so just keep watching. All right, well, I got my starter hole started with that wood bit and the drill. So now I'm gonna move the battery over to the jigsaw, and there's the lid I used for my template to make the hole. And so keep watching, see how this turns out. All right, well, what I wound up having to do is get my sawzall. That jigsaw wasn't cutting it. I got such thick roof decking, it's actually planking up here. Old house, old heart pine, and to keep this circle from falling in, I screwed a screw in the middle of it and put this pry bar in there because I just don't want this piece in the attic. Probably wouldn't hurt to be in there, but this is how I've got it holding right now. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this piece out and start lifting shingles. Alright guys, this is where it stands now. I've got the hole drilled. I've got this box mounted to the rafter in here, and I've got a camera pole that I extended all the way to this opening, because there's, like I say, you can't access this. It's got such a short roof profile. And so now I'm going to feed my extension cord back toward the attic staircase. With that, I taped it to the pole. That's a 25-foot grounded extension cord. There's not a whole lot of voltage that runs through this thing, so technically you're really not supposed to be running extension cords in the attic, but it's just what it is. It's just got to be this way in order to get this run. And so it's getting really hot up here, and there's no forecast of rain, but still don't trust that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put this unit in unconnected and put a couple of screws in it just to hold it in place. And I'm going to come back up here tonight to finish this out when it's cooler. But just keep watching. All right, can you hear it? I can barely hear it. I mean, this thing is really running quiet. I mean, I'm really amazed of how quiet this fan is. I can't even hear it in the attic. But it is blowing really good. I mean, it is actually drawing a lot of air. And so I've got it both connected to house power for cloudy days, and also have it, right now it's working solely on the solar. Those two bars that come in that box, that's what that's for, is to set the pitch of it, in case you needed to get it to face the sun more, depending on what direction your house faces. And so you can actually adjust that pitch even more than what it is now. I still need to do some more sealing around this, and also puts the screws down as well. I've used up all my caulk on putting the ridge cap up. That's Lexan. That's what I recommend you use. That's because I think that's just far better than silicone. It seems to want to stick a lot better than silicone, since you have to have like a bone dry surface for it. I'm not saying don't use it, but I just prefer Lexan. And like I say, this went relatively easy. I mean, the biggest work for me was actually pulling off the old ridge vent, and now in the process of sealing it back up. And I use this tape here I got from Home Depot. It's 6 inches wide. You have to peel this backing off of it, and it sticks pretty good. And so I wanted to have like a secondary barrier there for moisture, in case the ridge cap blows off. And if you don't have a ridge vent up there, that won't be a problem. You just go ahead and put this thing installed right up here close to the ridge, as possible. Like I said, they say you can install this with a ridge vent system if it's 5 feet further down. But my advice is to completely remove the ridge vent and seal it up. That way it just draws the cool air from the soffit area. Keep watching, guys. I got some more coming. All right, well, this is a done deal. I've kind of sort of made a career out of doing this. I mean, it really didn't have to be this long of a project, but I made it so. And like I say, most of the work that was performed was really due to the ridge vent up here. I removed it completely and recapped it, and that's what took most of the time. Installing this was really pretty easy. And of course, a lot of this is going to depend on what type of roof structure you have. If you've got a high-pitched roof, that might make it a little bit more challenging. and also might make it a little more challenging to service as well. You can see there's some bird droppings up there, and you know, more than likely you might have to go up there and clean this off occasionally. And so that's something you might have to take into account. Now I'm going to leave that on there because we got a good storm coming tomorrow morning. I'm just going to see if it'll wash it off. And so what I did is I used Lexan for the sealant here. I like that better than I do silicone, especially for roofing. You can use silicone if that's what you prefer. Now a lot of my work was really due to this ridge cap up here, or the ridge vent that used to be there. I wanted it completely removed and sealed, and so it took me quite a bit of time to do that. Probably wouldn't have taken a roofer that long. And so anyway, I may add more of these. I'm just going to wait and see what happens with this one. But so far, initial reports on this is that it's lowered the attic temperature in this part of the attic about 12 degrees, and it's also cooled the attic down quicker at night. And so I really am glad I installed this. And so I probably won't put this big a unit on the other two roof attics that I have up here. And so also too, in hindsight, I will probably remove the ridge vent by cutting the nails off and then sealing it from the top and then recapping it just like it is right there, instead of doing what I did here, which took a lot of time to do. And so anyway, I hope this has been somewhat informative. It's running right now. I don't know if you can hear it, really quiet. And so I have a lot of faith in this thing. So thanks for taking the time to watch this, guys, and also check out the other videos on this channel. They're dedicated to home preservation right here in the Deep South. Thanks for watching again.